Hey, it's Shane from GotRom.com. This video is about 3 tricks to fix IT band pain fast. So the first trick is something that you're not going to find on YouTube or in any videos that you're going to find on the internet. It's partner tissue work on your TFL. The TFL is this little muscle at the top of your IT band, right about in this pocket area, and it kind of controls everything that happens downstream in the IT band. So if you're having pain here on the IT band, the culprit is usually actually the TFL, but just getting a ball in there or a foam roller is not really the best thing. What you want to do is have a friend use thumbs or fingers or a fist. So I recorded another video about how to do that, and so you can check it out now. So we're talking about the TFL, the little bugger of a muscle right here, which causes all kinds of hip tightness feelings. It can cause a lot of lateral knee pain because it connects to the IT band, and it's a really hard area to get to. The most effective thing I've ever found to really get in there is to have a partner or a manual therapist get into that kind of like, if this is the side of his hip directly on the side, it's a little bit anterior to that, it's a little to the front. It's just a little bit above where most people's pockets are. And it'll take a little kind of poking and prodding to find just exactly where it is. But here's how you would do that if you had a partner. You can do a couple variations. You start by giving them something in between their knees and giving them a pillow so they're relaxed and comfortable. And then I block his low back with my foot, and I step over with this other foot just to kind of be nice and stable. The easiest thing to do is just with a straight arm, just kind of let my fist go into the side, slightly to the front part of his hip. And I kind of nestle my knuckle in there. And then with a straight arm, I just kind of drop my weight down into it a little bit. He takes a big breath, relaxes. I do little vibrations. If I feel his body tense up, I kind of back out a little bit, come back in with the pressure. And I ask for his feedback. I say, how does that feel? I can go a little higher, I can go a little lower. And then I just sit my weight down through my hand. The next thing to do is to try 4 fingers, and I hold it and support it. So side of the hip, a little to the front, and kind of at an angle, kind of at this angle, not sideways, not vertical, it's kind of at a slight angle. And you'll feel like there's a little divot somewhere. You gotta poke and prod a little bit. And when I feel a little divot and I can ask for feedback, I hold my fingers straight, sit my weight through my fingers, and he just breathes and relax. If it's too intense, I back out. And I do like to kind of back out off the pressure. His body relaxes, and then I press back in. So back out, press back in, little vibrations, ask for feedback. And the final variation is 2 thumbs on that same spot. Kind of got to explore exactly where you want to go. 2 thumbs, keep them straight, sit your weight through your hands, shake, shimmy. And then the last thing that's sometimes nice if people have a hard time relaxing is I'm going to tell him, I'm just going to stay. I'm not going to move at all. I'm just going to hold the pressure. And then he's going to move his pelvis around so he can arch his back and stick his butt out. Or he can tuck his tail. So he's going through anterior and posterior pelvic tilts and just kind of wiggling around. Why this can be better for people is because they feel like they're in control. They feel like they know what to expect because they're the one moving. Sometimes if the therapist is moving and the other person is laying still, the person gets tense and you can't really get in there. So having them move makes it a little bit more tolerable sometimes and maybe more effective. So they can move whether I'm using my fist or the fingers or the thumbs, but find a partner, someone you trust, someone who's going to be sensitive. Use the fist, the 4 fingers, or the 2 thumbs on that anterior kind of little tiny little divot. It'll feel like a little divot. And see what that does for how your hips feel afterwards, your hip flexor flexibility, and enjoy. After you've had a partner or a skilled manual therapist work on your TFL using thumbs, fingers, or a fist, That's going to release a lot of IT band pain. But if you still have some tension with the quad IT band interface or the hamstring IT band interface, you can roll the whole lateral chain of your body. Now, not all tools are made equal. So what I want to show you is my favorite tool for rolling the IT band, which is the quad baller. This bad boy is the quad baller, and here's how you use it. You're going to lay on the ground like this. Put the quad baller on the side of your legs. You can have one leg forward here if you want, or like this. And you're just going to slowly steamroll up and down until you find the densest, junkiest part. Now here's the big mistake that most people do when they're rolling their IT bands. It's intense, so what they end up doing is they're like, they're tight and their face is tense and they're clenching and they're moving and they're just going up and down for a couple seconds, and then they quit and they come off. What you actually want to do is try to get more contact points. So what do I mean? I put my shoulder on the ground, my head on the ground, my hands, my feet, there's lots of contact points, so I feel very stable. And then I very super slowly steamroll, and when I find a really dense spot, I stop, exhale, and become dead weight. This becoming dead weight and having multiple points of contact makes all the difference in this exercise. If you can get to the place where you can have your legs stacked and even have your feet off the ground, that can add up some intensity, which can give you deeper tissue work. So go super slow, steamroll. If that's too intense, bring the knee here. Find the sweet spot. Rest your head on your hand to give yourself more relaxation and more stability. Breathe and become dead weight. And just move kind of like 1 inch at a time. If you'll spend 5-10 minutes working on this whole IT band area after you've worked on the TFL, that'll really, really help your IT band pain. Another great way of working on your lateral chain, your IT band, is called the stacking method, where you take one lacrosse ball and another pair of softer balls, or it could even be a pillow. You take the lacrosse ball and you're going to put it underneath your thigh. So you go like this. Come down onto the ground, laying on my side, ball goes on my IT band, and this goes in between my knees. This could be a pillow, it doesn't have to be a ball, just something between your legs. You'll notice that this actually feels much more intense and therefore ultimately more effective when there's something stacked in between here. If I take this away, it doesn't quite feel the same. So stick a pillow in between here, the ball is tracing the lateral part of my IT band. And again, I'm not moving a lot. If you were watching me do this for 5-10 minutes, you could barely tell that I was moving because I find a good spot and I become dead weight. I move 1 inch, I become dead weight. So spend 5 to 10 minutes tracing the lateral part of your IT band. It runs from here to here. And you're just trying to kind of clean up how it interfaces with the quads or how it interfaces with the hamstrings. And the combination of cleaning up that TFL and then cleaning up any kind of excessive stiffness here is going to do a lot for your IT band pain. The final thing that I want to mention about IT band pain is just because you softened everything up and relaxed it and made it feel better doesn't necessarily mean you got to the root cause of why it got tight and dense and painful in the first place. Now, that's a big topic for why IT band pain happens, but two of the bigger culprits that I cover in my 45-day runner's knee program is hip stability and ankle mobility. If your ankles aren't moving as well as they could, your feet might pronate and say overcompensate and pronate, which can cause a little bit of IT band tightness. Or if you're lacking hip stability and your knee is collapsing in, that IT band on the outside and all of that musculature and fascia is kind of clenching to kind of try to stabilize things. So don't forget to work on your core and glute stability and also your ankle mobility if you're dealing with IT band pain. That's it. 3 tricks to help your IT band pain. Hope it was helpful. Let me know in the comments which of those exercises helped you the most, and I'll see you in the next video.